So the Supreme Court delivering a mixed ruling in a battleground state. It's now letting Arizona enforce some parts of a law that requires proof of citizenship in order to vote. At the same time, the justices also rejecting other aspects of the law that could have blocked tens of thousands of voters from casting ballots in the upcoming presidential election. I got to get somebody in here to explain all this to me, so I go to Fox News legal editor Kerri Urbahn. Thank you so much for being here. Let me set you up with this quote from Michael Whatley. He's the chairman of the RNC. While Democrats have worked to undermine basic election safeguards and make it easier for non-citizens to vote, we have fought tooth and nail to preserve citizenship requirements, see the law enforced, and secure our elections. What happened here, and what does it mean?
Well, Arizona tried to pass did pass a common sense law that said you have to show that you are a citizen in order to vote, and both in state elections and federal elections. And the Supreme Court kept the state part, saying, yes, states have the authority to govern who and how someone registers to vote in state elections. But as far as federal elections go, they do not have to require proof of citizenship, because there's an act on the books, a federal law, that says that someone has to swear under penalty of perjury that they are a citizen, but they do not have to provide proof of that citizenship. Arizona had taken it a step further and said, okay, but we need to be able to verify if someone is swearing they're a citizen, and so we're going to require them to provide that proof. The Supreme Court said not, at least for now, and here we are.
But Kerri, I'm thinking about South Carolina, because they have a requirement for ID, right? So how is that different from what's happening in Arizona?
Yeah, where it's different is that, well, first of all, this was the first law of its kind. I asked our brain room research team here at Fox to look into this, and this was the first law that required this proof of citizenship across the board. There isn't a state that had a kind of law like this on the books. But the reason, of course, Dana, the motivation behind these laws is because people are concerned about voter fraud. Joe Biden only won Arizona by 10,000 votes. There was a brief submitted in this case that pointed out that Senator Al Franken in 2008 only won his Senate race by 312 votes. So, proof of citizenship matters in some of these very close races. And you would think that people would be on board. This shouldn't be a partisan issue, Democrat or Republican, but yet we've seen that to be the case over and over again.
So do you think that there are other cases like this that the Supreme Court is going to have to weigh in on before the election that will make a difference?
I don't think that at this point in time it's going to make a difference because we're this close to the election, but I think the RNC is happy because they say it's a step in the right direction in requiring people to prove that they're citizens when they vote. And of course, it's consistent with how we have to show ID for almost everything else in life that's important.
And it was a 5-4 decision, so but we don't get a lot of detail when it's an emergency.
Right. That's just that, and that's before they reach the actual merits of the case. This is just to allow that part of the law to remain in place as this continues to be litigated.
Can I get a quick word from you on this? The Arkansas Supreme Court blocks an abortion measure from being on November's ballot in that state. There are abortion referendums on other states, including Nevada and Arizona. You can see them there. What happened in Arkansas?
So in Arkansas, there was a group of citizens that tried to get an abortion amendment on the ballot so that they said that abortion rights would be enshrined within the Constitution of the state constitution, saying that after 18 weeks or up until 18 weeks, one could have an abortion, because as of right now in Arkansas, one can only have an abortion if it's to save their life. It's to save the life of the mother.
Okay.
And the Arkansas Supreme Court there said that they hadn't properly gathered the signatures. Therefore, that ballot cannot be before the voters in November.
Okay, so not in Arkansas, but in those other states that we showed you. Kerri, thank you for being with us this morning.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.